Good morning. Also on City Hospital, cholesterol. It's a fat that clogs up your heart's arteries, and we normally associate it with bad diet, smoking and an unhealthy lifestyle. But every one of these children is at risk of a heart attack before they even reach their 20s, unless doctors can keep their cholesterol under control. I'm in the lipid clinic, which is a clinic that looks after children who suffer from high cholesterol. Shane, Kimberly, Kate, Holly and Adam are all sufferers of high cholesterol. Good morning. Holly, tell me, what exactly is high cholesterol?
It's a fat that builds up in your arteries which can cause heart disease.
Right. So, Kate, why do you have to come here so often?
Because I have high cholesterol. Because we have high cholesterol. And my nan and my dad have it. High cholesterol.
So it's a hereditary condition? Yeah, it's a hereditary condition. Dr. Mike Champion, you look after these guys. Is it as common as this many people? I mean, what are the statistics? That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, about 1 in 500 in the UK have a high cholesterol that is an inherited problem. And what we aim to do here is stop them from developing early heart problems by keeping them healthy and keeping their levels down.
So the fact that they're here now, does that mean that they are definitely going to suffer? Or does it mean the fact that they're here that you're hopefully going to, it's prevention?
Well, not everybody that has a high cholesterol does have a problem and won't necessarily develop heart disease. But the children that we tend to see are families that know that they're at increased risk because someone has had a heart attack at a very young age. And that is probably even more important than their absolute level of cholesterol. So the whole aim of the clinic is to make sure that they have good control and that they keep healthy.
So you see the guys about once every 6 months?
Yeah.
So, Adam, when you're here, what's the process that you go through?
Well, first I come in and I get my weight and my height and blood pressure checked. Then my blood's taken and I see the dietitian and go through what my daily diet and what I'm eating and exercise and things. I'm sent away for the bloods to be checked, and then I come back and the results are reviewed with Dr. Champion.
So it's a process that you go through every 6 months. Are you happy for us to join you as you check out that process? Are you, it's nothing to do with you, really, is it? Can we have a show of hands? Who's happy for us to continue looking at the process? Yeah, you're all up for that?
Yep.
Yeah, there were 5 raised hands there. I'm a happy man. So hopefully we'll do a bit of that later.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, right, Katie. Holly, let's measure. Feet right back. Yeah.
1 in 500 children are affected by high cholesterol in the UK. So much so that here at Guy's, the lipid clinic is devoted to looking after these children and trying to help them keep their cholesterol down.
Right.
Denise, is it all right to interrupt you for a moment?
Okay.
So what exactly are you doing now?
Right, I'm measuring Holly. Before they're going to see the doctors, we have to measure, do their height and weight, and this is because they're on restricted diet due to their medical condition.
So the fact that they have to eat carefully. We've got to measure, make sure that they're growing, and also their weight gain, that they're having equal, no, not equal. Go on, carry on.
Make sure that their weight gain is sufficient for their height as well and their age group.
Right.
So that's what we do. We do their weight and their height before they go to see the doctor.
Right. You carry on. You carry on.
Yeah.
Kate,
okay.
You tell me. Do you have to eat very carefully all the time?
Yeah.
What sort of things can and can't you eat?
We can't eat like lots of sweets, but we can eat like.
What are you mouthing? Pizza? Fruit and vegetables. So lots of fruit and vegetables.
Yeah.
And obviously that's why because their diet is slightly different, you like to keep track of it.
The weight.
Right.
Yeah, and that the growth is okay.
Right, I'll let you carry on because you've got to get measured and weighed and swapped. I'll go and talk to your parents. Look at the chair, my comedy chair that I've got there. Comedy chair, I'll take a seat. Parents of Holly and Kate in there. So tell me, it's hereditary. How long have you known about it in your family?
I've known about myself for about 15 years, but my mother had a heart attack in her 40s, and my grandfather died in his 60s of a heart attack. So quite a while.
When did you first realise it was important then to look at the girls?
We saw a programme about 5-6 years ago, Watchdog.
Right, what's your health check?
Then went to our GP and ended up sort of through our local hospital and then up at Guy's.
Are you slightly... I mean, the doctors told us that it's more prevalent in men than it is in women, but obviously you've still got to take precautions.
Yeah. Yeah, we're still very careful with the diet, exercise.
And how does it interfere with their day-to-day life? Again, growing up with it, as you said, you know, you've known about it for a while, so has it been easier to cope with for them than it was for yourself?
Oh yes, it's been a lot easier because there's more dietary stuff about nowadays than when I first found out. So no, my problem is I like all the wrong food.
And have the girls adapted quite easily to it?
Holly has. Kate finds it a bit more difficult.
Right, okay. Well, thank you very much indeed.
That's okay.
Thank you. High cholesterol in children affects more children than you'd think. This is the lipid clinic where, well, in fact, children come every 6 months to have all of their cholesterol monitored, and it's quite a lengthy process. They have to go through quite a lot of tests, blood pressure taken, height, etc., etc. Denise, may I interrupt you for a second? What are you doing right now?
I'm just doing Kimberly's blood pressure.
Right, okay, now why is that important?
Well, it's important because of the high lipids that we keep a check on their BP, their blood pressure as well.
And Kimberly, blood pressure taken, does that hurt?
No.
Not at all?
No.
Right, your brother here, Shane, what are you doing? You're standing to attention, what are you doing?
Waiting to be weighed.
So you're going to be weighed next. You obviously do this every 6 months. Daunting or not? Quite easy?
Easy.
Easy, okay. Thank you very much. So there are so many numerous tests I have to go through, and obviously most of them are under 16, so there is a lot. This is one of these that does a lot of it. There's a lot of things that need to be taken into account. Yeah, there we are. Thank you. Adam, how are you?
I'm fine.
Or should I say bonsoir, bonjour? May I interrupt?
You may.
I don't think you may interrupt.
Fine, yeah, that's fine.
He's the boss.
You're in charge right now, Adam.
Yeah.
So what are you doing now?
Just going through my diet really on a weekly basis and just reviewing it really.
So you monitor each of your patients' diets on a weekly basis?
Well, we would review it every 6 months when they come to clinic, but they'll spend time with the dietitians and they will go through looking at the elements of the diet, areas that need a bit more work, and the areas that are doing really well. And I have to say, top of the class here.
Adam, you're 16.
Yeah.
So a 16-year-old out having far too many kebabs, or have you made it really work in your favour?
Well, I've hardly ever eat any food out. It's all the food I eat is either cooked from scratch or it's been heated up. We don't have any pre-packed meals or anything like that. They don't exist in my house.
Has it been an easy thing to get used to? Because how long have you had to be eating so wisely?
Since I've known what a cholesterol is really, since about the age of 10. My mum's made sure that I've eaten everything healthy, and she's always cooked meals from fresh. So.
And how's it been hereditary in your family?
Well, everyone I know in my family, they've all had like, either heart bypasses or they've all been for checks and things like that. So they've all got it.
Mike, is this prevention guaranteed?
I think the modern treatments are very effective. The one question we have is what is the right age to treat? Certainly we'd like to make a diagnosis before the age of 10. Some people that have had tragic family histories will want to screen their babies very young, but normally we wouldn't screen till the age of 5. And the bedrock really is the diet and healthy living. And then when they get older, that's when we start thinking about medication and medicines to really bring that cholesterol down and control it.
Right, it's been a series of tests that all of the children here have gone through this morning, and we'll be finding out the results a little later on.
Yep.
So join us later when we find out the results. We're back to check the cholesterol tests that Dr. Mike has been carrying out all morning on 5 of your patients. So what are you looking for in these results?
Well, what we want to see is how high or how controlled the cholesterol is. Heart disease risk really increases from a level above 5, and if you consider the UK, the average cholesterol is 6.1, and that's mainly due to our diet, which is rather really shocking. For a diagnosis in these children, you need a level of more than 6.7 on 2 occasions, and when we first met, looking back at your charts, it was near 10. I'm happy
Adam, 10?
But then not his fault, because you know it's an inherited condition, whereas now we're 6.2, and that is a combination of all the hard work that Adam puts in, you know, the healthy eating, lots of exercise, plus having started on a medicine, a statin, that's really made a big difference in bringing it down. And so that's really reducing the risk that Adam's running with regard to early heart disease.
And Adam, do you feel you're missing out on any foods in particular?
Not at all, no, because if I want to have a food, I have it in moderation, just don't have it as often as I would. That's about it.
Alex, your mum, good morning.
Morning.
You have a history in your family, obviously, of heart problems, don't you, due to cholesterol levels?
Yes, we do. My mother and my father died of heart attacks. I have 6 brothers, 2 sisters. We all have heart problems due to high cholesterol. I've myself have had a triple heart bypass because of high cholesterol, the furring up of the arteries, which is what cholesterol causes. And I think my son has picked it up from me, and that's why he follows a strict diet, because he's lived with it. His family around him have lived with it, and he understands it.
Have you always been quite harsh on him then?
I have, actually, because I don't want him ending up like me.
Quite. But it's from a 10 to a 6. You've done very well. You've done very well. Well, thank you very much for talking to us this morning. I'm just going to go and check on the others. The others who are out here and have kindly stayed to share their results with us so quickly, running out of time. Holly, how was your result?
Good.
What was your number?
5.6.
Which is a really good number. How about for you, Kate?
7.7.
7.9. Is that lower than 6 months ago?
Yeah.
So you're doing all the right thing and eating the right foods?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Shane, what was your number like?
Good.
You good. What were your figures?
5.5.
5.5, which is below the actual UK average, so well done. Now, Kimberly, you've got a bit of a story to tell me because you haven't got a number, have you?
No.
Now, why is that?
Because it took long to take the blood and I don't like needles.
Okay, so because you don't like needles, it took long to take that, but Mum, will you manage to get some results?
Yes, and they're going to send them in the post.
Excellent. Well, can I just say thank you all very much indeed for spending your morning with us and sharing your results with us, so thank you.